was saying, I can't believe we have to switch from football to politics here. That just seems like a rather rude thing to do on a Monday morning.
Well, football is politics for a lot of people, though, Jeff. It's
That's right. Down south? That's right.
It's religion, politics, all boiled into one.
That's right.
It's your self-identity, your self-worth, everything. By the way, do you have a college football team you pull for, or are you?
You know, I have, this is going to sound strange, but I paid a little bit of attention to the Lions NFL team on Thanksgiving Day, just thinking they might be able to break the streak and beat
but
beat
they
the
weren't.
Texans. But then other than that, it's all Broncos out here in Colorado.
Yeah.
And they won yesterday, and Peyton's going to be okay, so good.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I didn't know. So did you grow up in Michigan?
Well, I grew up in Michigan, Kansas, Texas, Colorado, Oklahoma. So
your dad, your family
really
was
up.
Your family was running
I'm really
from the law.
That's right.
Either they were in the military or they were running from the law.
That's right. Oh my
anyway, Jeff and I know each other, folks, so he's not going to hang up the phone upset and offended that I was teasing about his family there. Dr. Jeff Myers is with us, Summit Ministries. And, Jeff, I want to talk to you about post-election. How do we as Christians process this and look at this situation that we're in? Because our fellow countrymen, we all get a vote, and what our fellow countrymen, by a slim majority, but a majority nonetheless, selected Barack Obama for a second term in the White House. When you look at the economy, even if you didn't care about morals or Christian values, the economy has been terrible under President Obama. But the American people have chosen to give him a pass on that, or at least not hold him accountable for that. And that's highly unusual, because if you look at our country's history, we always hold presidents accountable after 4 years. We kick them out, whether it's Jimmy Carter or George Bush the first. We kick them out if the economy's going bad. In this case, the economy's going bad. Barack Obama gets reelected, and his is the party of booing God, the Democrats. He just overcame a lot of things that I think that's why people were, like myself, were a little bit stunned that evening at 10 o'clock Central Time when Ohio was called for Barack Obama, and it was clear that Romney had no shot to be the president. And I'm going, I guess I'm out of touch with the majority of the American people. Comment on your thoughts post-election, and what do we do in this post-Christian era as believers and followers of Christ?
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there, Tim.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I have to say, the people in the Romney campaign were just as surprised as you were. All of their polling said that they were going to win the election, and so they were shocked as well. And I've been in meetings in Washington D.C. in the last couple of weeks. Lots and lots of people trying to analyze what's going on, and man, they have everything from the voting fraud issues to everybody's got their little theory. But let me say, I did hear a lot of people say that evangelicals didn't turn out properly, or that young people are the ones going for the president and things like that. I'd have to say, if there's anything that as a conservative that I could point to and say we need to do a better job there, it's not that the Republican Party needs to be more moderate. It needs to be more modern. There was not a substantive outreach to Hispanics. There wasn't a substantive outreach to African Americans. There wasn't even a substantive outreach to young people, and I have not talked about this publicly, but might as well talk about it now. I actually was contacting the Romney campaign saying, do you guys want to reach young people? Because if you do, I've got some ways to do that, evangelical young people. And they didn't want to do it. They didn't have any real interest. I got one phone call back, and then I called back 2 or 3 times, and they never returned my call. So I don't know. They wanted to run a campaign the old-fashioned way, not using technology, not doing all of the things that the Obama campaign started doing 6 years ago that the Republicans still haven't caught up with, and so they got the results that they're going to get.
Jeff,
it only takes a few decisions like that, and you're going to end up having a losing campaign in a modern era.
2 or 3 things there, and I agree with most everything you said. I don't believe the Republicans can reach out to African Americans because they're never going to vote for Republicans. They always vote Democrat, 90+%, and they always will. They're loyal to the Democratic Party. So you may disagree with that, but I mean, the history shows that, and they're even more committed now to the Democrat Party with Barack Obama as the president. So I think while you may fault, this is me, and Jeff and I may disagree, and Ray, you may disagree with me. I don't know. I just don't think there's anything the Republicans can do to convince African Americans to vote for them. That's number one. With respect to the Hispanics, there may be more of a hope for the Republicans. However, Jeff, how do you deal with this? Most Hispanics, the Hispanics voted 70-30 for Barack Obama. I think that the Hispanics who are here legally getting amnesty for their fellow Mexicans or Hispanics is a high priority for them, and the Democrat Party offers them the best hope to do that. Yes, they're Catholic, so most of them are pro-life, but that doesn't trump social justice, is what they call it. That's the reason they vote Democrat. And also, they are used to a socialist form of government in Mexico, which is big government, welfare programs, and so that's what they're going to vote for over the Republicans. So I hate to be pessimistic for people who would be a Republican, but I just don't see the Republicans being able to get any more percentage votes from Hispanics or any more percentage votes for the African Americans than they got last election cycle. But maybe Tim, go ahead.
No, those are great points. And when it comes to, let's talk about the Hispanic issue first, because I really do think this is a critical one. We do know that by 2050, the United States of America, if present trends continue, will be a predominantly Hispanic nation. There'll be more Hispanics than there will be Anglo-Saxon, people of Anglo-Saxon descent.
White people will be in the minority in 2050?
I think it's 2050 is the last statistics that I saw.
Know that.
So, yeah. So if the Republicans want to win a national election again, they've got to do it. It kind of reminds me of what G.K. Chesterton said about Christianity. It's not that it's been tried and found difficult; it's that it's been found difficult and not tried. If you look at the total Hispanic outreach of the Republican Party, it was pathetic. Now, it is true that Hispanics in this election tended to vote their ethnicity rather than their political convictions, because, as you mentioned, pro-life, pro-family, those are big issues. But the immigration issue is a big one, and the Republican Party, I think, really needs to grapple with this. And I'm not the only one saying it. Richard Land, who runs the Southern Baptist, what's that called, the Ethics Center.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a predominant voice on this, and he's been saying this for several years, that the Republicans need to rethink their whole immigration position on this, and but that's a tricky one. That's really, really hard. I got to tell you, I'm sure where you are in Mississippi, where I am in Colorado, people's toes curl up when they hear that, because it just doesn't seem fair to have an immigration system that's like the one that we have now, with people coming into the country illegally when there are long lines of people who want to come in legally, who have good skills and so forth, a good education, and could make a contribution to the economy. But that is an issue we're going to have to grapple with one way
or the other. Well, you give them amnesty. Ronald Reagan gave them amnesty in the 80s, and there was no loyalty to the Republican Party.
Well, it's changed. I think a lot of things have changed since then, and you have of course, the unions as well are very, very much against anything that would create amnesty. When you've got a situation where the unemployment level is as high as it is, this creates a great deal of tension all the way around. I don't think the Republicans even did a good job of pointing out the inherent hypocrisy of the Democratic Party on this issue. But anyway, there aren't that many. I think we need some more. In fact, I've got a couple conversations coming up this next week with some Hispanic leaders. There aren't even very many. But this is interesting, Tim. There is no equivalent in the Spanish-speaking world for what you do at AFR. Did you know that?
Mm.
There isn't anything like that. If you look at Hispanic media, it's all NPR type stuff, but further left. It's almost the entire Spanish-speaking media is far left. And so I don't know, maybe this is something that you guys could do. If you could begin thinking through how do you create a complete Hispanic outreach, there would be a clamor for it, Tim. I mean, there are Spanish-speaking believers all across this country who would love to have a really good, strong, spiritual base that brings up political issues, brings up family issues, and things like that. And you guys have the purchase to be able to do that. You've got the credibility, you've got the experience, and so that, I'll just kind of lay that out as a personal challenge. That's what's so desperately needed right now. It's just something for people who want to actually listen to the radio and spend time in their native language, in their heart language. There's not really anything out there for them right now in the United States.
Well,